Now, before we conclude this presentation, we're going to give you 6 trot tips. So the first tip is to go rising. Remember that you don't have to do sitting trot at the lower levels, so where possible, go rising and allow your horse to use his back fully. Now, this is especially a must if you are a tense rider, or if you're still mastering the sitting trot, or if you have a horse with choppy trot strides, all of which can make sitting to the trot very difficult, and you can do more harm to the pace than enhance it. Now, the next 2 tips we're going to give you together. So tip number 2 is trot, canter, trot transitions, and tip number 3 is on and back within the trot. Basically, transitions, lots and lots of transitions. So on and back within the trot is going from a working trot to possibly asking for a few lengthened strides and then go back to working trot again. But only ask your horse for what he's capable of at his level of training and maintain his balance. And of course, trot, canter, trot transitions are great to help encourage the horse to take more weight behind. The best way to improve the pace is to ride transitions rather than just riding around the arena. Now, tip number 4 is to have a canter. Although that sounds a little bit strange on why you would canter to improve the trot, it does actually help. Because when you first get on your horse and you start working in, the trot can be a little bit flat. But once you've begun to warm your horse up, and once you've had the opportunity to have a canter and open up the horse a little bit, then you'll find that the trot will suddenly improve and it will suddenly have more lift and expression. So don't feel that when you get on, you have to first look at the walk, then you have to look at the trot, and then you have to look at the canter. You can go through all 3 paces and then come back to the trot and work on the trot again. You will find that it does get better once the horse has had a canter. Now, tip number 5 is to do stretching in the trot. Now, we do have a presentation coming up which is all about allowing the horse to stretch, because it's a movement in the lower level dressage tests. But basically what this means is ride your horse onto a large circle in trot and allow the horse to take the reins forward and down, very similar to the free walk on a long rein which we've just talked about. Now, when you allow the horse to stretch like this in trot, you will feel the horse's back lift and his steps will become springier and more elastic. So in between your transitions, give your horse the opportunity to stretch and to really lift his back. Now, the final tip, tip number 6, is lateral work. Now, all lateral work will be beneficial, regardless of the movement, whether it's shoulder in, half pass, whatever. It will help because it helps the horse to take more weight behind and improves all over body suppleness. Now, obviously, if you've just started, we're not going to expect you to ride a half pass in trot. But once you've got your basic controls down, then leg yielding is a great and easy place to start. And we do have a presentation on that movement coming up soon. And to really elasticize the pace, you could ride working trot on a circle, allowing the horse to stretch in the trot on a long rein, as we talked about in tip number 5, but you could leg yield in on the circle and then leg yield back out on the circle, also while keeping the horse stretching on a long rein. This will be a fantastic exercise to improve the horse's body suppleness, to encourage him to take more weight behind, and also to give the working trot more lift and expression.